How's it going, guys? It's Owen here. Today we're back with some more Trick and Treat. We're starting off exactly where we left off. We met 3 characters so far in this game called Alfred, Stephen, and Axel, I think. We also got a cat accompanying us, so hopefully this cat actually survives and we can actually get out of this forest. That being said, let's carry on with the game. Oh, it's been a few minutes since I found this cat. Sorry guys, I forgot to read that bit. Again, I find myself walking with her in my arms, led by the strange voice. How long have I been walking for in this forest? Apparently, not enough to make me go mad, but it should be close. Don't be afraid, come with me, I will help you. The voice sounds closer this time. It seems that I'm going in the right direction. I don't fully trust in it, but it's the best I have. At least at first glance, it seems a friendly voice. I am completely focused on my way when I suddenly feel something bite me. Ah, what the heck? I shout in pain, realizing that the cat bit my arm. Fortunately, it wasn't a dangerous bite, but it sure was painful. With my distraction, she takes the chance to jump from my arms, falling a few steps away from me. Quickly, I set my gaze upon her furious, but soon something happens. What? Quickly, I set my gaze upon her furious. Okay, I read that bit wrong. But soon something happens that makes me forget about my anger. Suddenly, the cat is covered with a bright light. So much that it repels the unnatural darkness surrounding the forest, stealing my breath. Under the light, its figure gradually changes until it ceases to be a cat and becomes a human figure. Oh, we've got a transforming cat now. Hello. No longer is there a cat in front of me, but a girl with incredible beauty. I must really be going crazy. She has white hair and red eyes. She seems about my age. In other circumstances, I would have asked her out without hesitation. Just thinking about it makes me laugh to myself in my mind. Even at the edge of madness, it seems some things about me will never change. She approaches slowly towards me, one step at a time, with no fear. The girl then stares into my eyes, with a slightly irritated face. Her lips are moving. She seems to be saying something, but I am unable to hear a sound. Are you trying to tell me something? I babbled, still confused, with a face of disbelief which surely made me look stupid. Said the girl with a low voice. I do not understand what she is saying. What? I can't hear you well. I asked, still confused. Suddenly, the girl pouts in a bad mood, say. What's wrong with you? Are you deaf? Finally, I could hear her clearly. And just in time, because it seems her patience is about to end. Okay, now I hear you. I said, annoyed. All of my astonishment from a few seconds ago disappears when I see the arrogant attitude of the girl. At least now I don't think she'll bite me, I hope. The girl then snorts with irritation. What an annoying guy I had to find, she said at the time. She places her hand on her lips, making a pensive face. Wait, you shouldn't speak ill of someone you have right before you. I was quick to respond. For a moment I feel annoyed at the thought that I have to teach manners to this spirit, or whatever she is. A pity, so much beauty wasted on someone so arrogant. The girl let out a snort of annoyance after hearing me. I'm sorry, it's a bad habit that I can't quit. She announced without sounding very repetitant, clearly a false apology. After talking, she diverts her gaze towards the surroundings as if she was bored. I see. I replied, annoyed. I just met her and I already feel like I don't like her. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I must not forget who this girl is. She was the cat that started it all. Anyway, at least you can tell me why you attacked me and my friends. I asked shortly after acting more seriously. The greetings were over. It's time to get to the important stuff. And why did you bite me if I wasn't doing anything? Before I knew it, my lips were moving without asking another question. I cannot lie, I was angry. The girl then stares at my face. She blinks with curiosity before speaking. Does it hurt? The wound? She asked innocently. Yes. I was quick to respond with annoyance. I didn't need to say no more. Of course it hurts, silly cat. She looks at me in a silence for a few seconds until suddenly she approaches me without any shyness or fear. On second thought, how could simple humans as me scare a cat that can turn into a person? Show me your wound, said the girl once she stood right next to me. Her presence makes me nervous. This girl seems to not know what personal space is. As embarrassing as it sounds, I had never had a girl this close, if only it wasn't in this forest. I don't know why. I shouldn't trust her, but strangely, something tells me that she has no bad intentions. The girl is surrounded by a calm aura, something pure unlike anything else in this forest. In the end, reassigning myself with a sigh, I show with my arm with the bite. Immediately, the girl sets her sights on my wound. It would only take a moment, she said with complete confidence. Then she looks up into my eyes. Could you close your eyes? She asks as she blushes slightly. I am surprised to see she has an embarrassed face, even just a little. Then I sigh, feeling something that wasn't right, but there's nothing else I can do. Okay, I said, doing as she asked. I didn't know what to expect. For a moment, I thought she would just get naked or something like that. What kind of magic can work only when you have no clothes? I don't know, but my mind was sure wanted to imagine that. Come on, Axel, keep your composure. Suddenly I feel something warm and wet touch my wound. Immediately I shudder. Wait, what are you doing? It's a stupid question because I know well what she is doing. She was licking my wound. You idiot, who said you could watch? Was quick to respond the cat. With her cheeks red in embarrassment and her lips still close to my wound, she looked adorably troubled. Don't you see that I am trying to heal you? She then added in a bad mood. Sorry, she said blushingly. I thought you would do something more extraordinary. Now I'm not sure. Is she a girl who can transform into a cat, or a cat that can become a girl? Sorry to disappoint you, not being extraordinary enough, murmured the girl in the same tone. She gives me an annoyed look. Red eyes shining with disgust. It is then that I realize that the pain has disappeared. Without curiosity, I look where the wound was, only to discover that there now is no trace of it. For a couple of seconds, I stay slightly incredulous. I don't know if I said that correctly. It seems that your treatment worked, I finally said gratefully, still looking at the spot. But of course, I had experience healing myself, answered the girl, closing her eyes and inflating her chest to show her pride. I actually appreciate what she did, but I still wonder if she really had to lick me to cure it. I understand, but who are you? The girl makes a small snort with curiosity after hearing my question. Then she tilts her head and closes her eyes, making a thoughtful face. It seems I have not presented myself. She opens her eyes and gazes into mine. My name is Ashley. So that's her name. I expected something more extravagant. My name is Axel. By the way, have you ever been accused of witchcraft? Before I knew it, I asked that question. I guess it was rather rude of me, completely lacking in manners. But I must not forget, for even for a second, that I am in this cursed forest. Ashley suddenly became silent. At plain sight, it was obvious she didn't take it well. She takes her time before responding. Yes, but not that long ago. Then she closes her eyes and exhales emptying her lungs. She seems to be recalling something painful. Just seeing her made me feel guilty. I'm sorry, it was not my intention to make you remember it, I said slightly remorseful. No doubt to be accused of witchcraft must have been a horrible experience. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. It's okay. It's not like I blame your curiosity seeing where we are. Then she looks at me closely with curious eyes. By the way, how do you know about me? Perhaps you are a sorcerer who has lived during these past centuries? She asked, now in her eyes, as if she was trying to see inside my mind. What kind of question is that? No, nothing like that, I answered at the moment. I'm just an ordinary person. I omitted boring, but she didn't seem to know that. It's just that there are stories about witches in this forest. But as you can see, the stories are not very convincing, or else I wouldn't be here. I explained, trying to remove my doubt that Ashley may have. Again, she closes her eyes and nods. I understand. She pauses and looks me in the eyes. It's because they're stupid myths that stupid humans come to this forest, just like you. She then says, looking at me with rejection. Wait, what are you trying to say? We are to blame? I reply, feeling offended. Ashley suddenly looks at me, disgusted. Are you an idiot? Yes, if you haven't come to my existence, would be nice and peaceful, instead of this chaos that it is every year. She said, ending with a sigh of frustration. But you're the one who causes all this. I was quick to respond. I don't even bother to hide my anger. I can't believe what she says. How arrogant can she be? Ashley opens her eyes, wide surprised. Then she looks at me with annoyance in her red eyes. Do you not understand, stupid human? Definitely, I don't like this girl. I'm only trying to protect you. Her words take me by surprise. Huh? I exhaled in... I don't know what that says. You attacked me and my friends, only to protect us? Yes. She simply replied at the same time she nods, filled with pride and confidence. Okay, that's it. I'm getting out of here. I cannot believe how arrogant and self-centered this girl is. After everything she did to me and my friends, I can't stand her any longer. Wait! I had only taken a few steps when I heard her calling me. She sounds really worried. You don't understand the real danger in here. I stopped in my tracks as soon as I hear her. Real danger? I whispered, feeling some doubts. Suddenly I shiver. It doesn't look like she's lying. Yes, I try to chase them away using illusions. Other times I hit them with my powers. And at last resort, I scare them directly, as it was in your case. Ashley confessed, blushing a little, as if she felt embarrassed of remembering. And why do you do that? I asked, confused. Something isn't right here. Ashley scares me with her red eyes. If they continue with their curiosity, they will meet an evil entity that will take their lives. What you say doesn't sound very convincing. I immediately interrupt. The only evil entity here is you. Ashley shakes her head in denial. You are wrong. I am the good one. Then she said, looking into my eyes with pure innocence in her eyes. Ha 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 ha. I could only laugh at that comment. It had to be a joke. After doing all this, you say you're good? Don't laugh, I'm only protecting you, replied Ashley furiously while waving her arms. She then crosses her arms and gives me an unpleasant look. Do you expect me to believe that? I replied sarcastically. What she said made no sense, but however, she seemed oddly convinced it was the truth. She was surely a bit wrong in the head. But it's true, you have to believe me. This time she sounds really worried about me. I actually feel a bit sorry for her. Ashley then stayed silent, looking at me with little puppy eyes. However, she soon recovers her proud attitude. If you want, hold my hand. I won't hurt you. She suddenly says. I look carefully at her. She has a very arrogant face, as if it was a great honor to be able to touch her. You won't do anything strange? I asked distrustfully, but after seeing her again, did not think she was lying. Ashley nods, full of confidence. I promise you. I stare at her for a few seconds, making sure this isn't a trap. Okay, but why do you want me to hold your hand? I ask at the same time. I extend my hand. Ashley opens her eyes surprised after hearing my question, then she stares at me with annoyance. Are you stupid? Obviously to guide you out of the forest. She said just as she takes my hand in one quick move. I then find myself being dragged by this strange girl. But this is the opposite way from where the melodious voice comes. I said, looking back for a second. I felt really curious about who she was. You ignore that voice. It challenged men to make them her victims. Think of it as a siren. Ashley explained in a bad mood, with her eyes always looking to the forest, or to the front. It seemed she didn't get along with whoever that person or entity was. Wouldn't you be one of the collectors of the souls of fools? I asked without thinking. I seriously needed more experience when dealing with a girl. If only I were more popular. Ashley stopped suddenly. She then turns at me, showing me a furious face. You idiot! I already said I'm the good one. For a moment, I thought she was going to hit me on the head. But fortunately, she stopped before doing so, or biting me again. Okay. I meekly respond as if I were a scolded child. But if you eat me, I'll make sure to give you the worst indigestion in your life. You idiot, I don't eat humans, replied Ashley, ending with an arrogant snort. 3:11 AM. Well, we're alive so far, so we're not doing that bad, I suppose. I keep forgetting to click. I keep thinking it's going to change on its own. Several minutes had passed since I started to walk hand in hand with Ashley. At the beginning, I did not trust her at all, but the more time passed, the easier it was to believe her. I hadn't noticed before how comfortable her hand is, soft and pleasant to the touch. I blushed thinking about it. Even if she is witch, she's a good girl, right? Then I sigh. Come on, Axel, composure. With every step, the curse of the forest seemed to weaken. The atmosphere was less oppressive, every minute until finally I was able to forget about the unpleasant feeling. Before I noticed, the darkness had returned to normal, feeling only empty. The rotten smell also had disappeared without a trace. Now I could really say I was in the common and ordinary forest, even boring. But I could not forget how grateful for that. I could not be more grateful for that. Just a little more to get out, so let's keep moving. Then I set my sights back on Ashley, watching her walk in silence. She was completely focused on that simple thing. If you're the witch of the legend, why are you helping me? I suddenly asked, not thinking twice before it. I was really intrigued by that. Ashley stopped and turned at me, looking at me with an angry face. Idiot! Do you really think all witches are evil? She was right. The general image of witches are not good, but it's not as if stereotypes are truthful. Then she closes her eyes, making an annoyed face. It's true. I had supernatural powers, but I never used them to harm. Ashley lowers her sight and pauses. Suddenly she looks sad. My only sin was to be born in a time of witch hunts. That is why I was condemned. That explains it all. I feel like I can trust she is good. But there's still one more question. And how did you end up becoming a cat? Ashley immediately blushes. She was so embarrassed that it was almost adorable. Almost. Well, before my execution, there was a cat watching in the distance, so I decided to transfer my soul to it. She explained, avoiding looking into my eyes. course. We now share the body. We have a like and deal. We have a like a deal. The cat would be happy as long as it has something to eat and place to sleep. I try to provide her with those needs, and in return, she lets me stay in her body. As she talks, she is blushing shyly. I think it's a fair deal. I replied with a sincere smile. Why can't I read the simplest words? The truth is that I found it quite funny. It turns out that she is both a girl and a cat, and answers some questions. Ashley closes her eyes and nods a couple of times. When she wants, she can be very cute. Too bad that happens so rarely. Not saying more, Ashley continues walking to the exit. This time, I stay in silence. All that remains for me is to escape from this place. 3:15 AM. Well, here we are, Ashley said a few minutes after we talked. She isn't lying. I can feel the end of the forest in the distance. I had to contain my desire to scream with joy at that moment. There must be 2 other humans close here. Your friends. Go with them and return home. I hope that nobody else comes tonight, Ashley said, giving me a subtle farewell. But strangely, she does not let go of my hand. She looks deep into my eyes. Amazed, I notice the gentleness that reflects on them. Can you make me a promise? She suddenly said with an honest voice. It was no joke. What is it? I asked, full of curiosity. I don't know what I could do for a witch, but after helping me to escape, I think she deserves me to hear her request. End this legend. She then I don't know what that word is, with an air of sadness. I can't understand why she asked me for something like this. Well, so she can be left alone finally. Wanted to help me to keep people away, and now to keep them alive. The legend only attracts more people, as in your case. I need to kill it, replacing the supernatural danger with a human danger. A human danger? So you want to scare them with ordinary dangers, as thieves or ferocious animals. On second thought, there is logic in what you asked. If you remove the element of magic and then leave the danger, then exploring the forest is not worth the risk. Ashley nods and I looks into my eyes, blushing. Yes, exactly, she said, pleased. Okay, I'll do it. You can rely on me, I responded with determination. I wanted her to know how serious I was. That is not just a promise. I would not forget anytime soon. I got out of the forest. I read that bit wrong. I wanted her to know how serious I was. That is not a promise I would forget as soon as I left the forest. There you go. Thank you. Then she closes her eyes momentarily and inflates her chest with pride. You aren't as stupid as I thought. I should have expected nothing like that. Hey, I told you not to talk ill of someone who is standing right in front of you, I complained angrily. This girl, simply would never change. After seeing my reaction, Ashley cannot help but laugh. I'm sorry, haha. It's the first time I've seen her so happy. That made me blush. Ashley looked unexpectedly adorable at that moment. My heart was nervously beating as if I was with a normal girl. Suddenly, she stares at me and ends so close her face. What? Suddenly she stares at me and gets so close her face is less than an inch from mine. Again, she demonstrates not knowing what personal space is. But this time, I don't know whether to be angry or thankful. Having her so close, a beautiful girl makes me very nervous. This is the farewell, she suddenly said. She then brings her lips to my cheek and gives me a tender kiss. We only just met this girl and she's already kissing us. Probably did that at the other two though. Everything becomes white at that moment. Everything loses its colour. Everything is gone. Everything. 3:18 AM. Are we still in the forest? I'm outside of the forest. That's a no. I have no idea of how I made it out here, but this is no illusion. I am bewildered, as if I had been sleepwalking. Axel! Axel! Suddenly I hear someone calling my name. But it's not any strange voice. It's the voices of my friends who are looking for me. Hey! Over here! I shout without a second hesitation, with a bit of clumsiness because of my confusion. Soon they find me and impatiently run towards me. Where are you? The worries was killing us. Stephen said with a face that I don't remember having ever seen. Stephen said with a face that I don't remember ever seeing. Stephen said with a face that I don't remember having ever seen before. There we go. Before answering, I rubbed my forehead. Within the forest, I couldn't find the exit. Alfred was about to say something, but before that I interrupted him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I was just lost. The important thing is that we are safe. Yes, you are right. Hey, don't you feel that we are forgetting something? Alfred murmured. At that point, he lowers his sight, pensive. Suddenly, a blurry image appears in my mind. It was white and bright, but I can't remember more. However, that weak memory awakes a strange feeling of my nostalgia in me. It was as if I had lost something, but what could it be? Anyway, we should go home. This has gone on for too long. I said with no intention of spending one more minute in this forest. They both agree with me. With nothing else to say, we can only return home. By the way, guys, you should write on this page so not to go back into the forest. Forget about the witches. Somebody might get lost there, as it happened to me. It was a miracle that I came out alive, with the bees lurking around. Before knowing it, my lips move. Why did I say that? I have no idea, but something inside inspired me to do it. To be honest, I have no memory of the beast I speak of. All I can remember is that it has red eyes and white fur, but nothing more. Then I remember something. I think it was a promise I made to... Wait, to whom had I made this promise? Think about it for a moment in silence, but in the end I can't remember a thing. No matter, all I know is that I got out of there and I'll never go back in again. Finn. Why is that? That's listed at the end of the game. Yeah, it is. Okay. So I think that's got a 2 episode long game. It's not bad. I actually quite enjoyed it. I know there's multiple endings. I'm not entirely sure how to get them though. I got one out of this many. A forgotten adventure. Don't know, might actually go back into it. I'm not entirely sure. If you want to see other endings though, I think it might best go to someone else's let's play of this, so just research them all together. That being said, guys, that is Trick and Treat. Hope you enjoyed this video, this let's play, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, take care, and thank you so much for watching.